So today I just want to tell a story of something that happened to me. It was almost 8 years ago now, and I still think about it sometimes because that concept takes hold and it still bothers me a little bit. And it's an interesting story. So this would have been in 2012, and I was about to take an overnight flight from Las Vegas to Cleveland. So I was in the Vegas airport. It was 11:30 at night, something like that. So the airport wasn't super crowded, weren't too many people, and it's about a 5-hour flight from Vegas to Cleveland. So naturally, before a flight, I'm going to move around a little bit. I'm going to stretch because you don't really have those kind of options on the airplane. You're a little bit more immobilized. So when I have the space before a long flight, of course I'm going to move. So I was stretching around a little bit in the seat. I was being fairly conspicuous, but it's not like there were a lot of people in the airport. It wasn't crowded. I wasn't in anyone's way. I wasn't taking up a lot of space. I was just, moving around, doing some stretches, opening up the chest and the hips. And there was this dude who was a couple seats down from me, so not even next to me, right? Like there was at least one or two seats in between us. And every time I moved, every time I changed positions, this dude would scoff or grunt. He would be like, huh, like, it's almost as if he was offended by my stretching. Like every time I moved into a new position, it was just something set him off. He was, He was triggered by my flexibility and by my need to try to take care of myself, to try to prepare for a long flight by moving a little bit. So this went on for a few minutes. I'm going through a number of different stretches, and he continues. He's like, and I'm not paying him any mind because I'm just stretching. Like, who cares, man? Right? Why would you care? Mind your own shit. But he keeps scoffing and he keeps making these grunting noises. And I guess at a certain point he's had enough. So he gets up. There's people around too, right? So he stands up and he yells at me and he says, "Why can't you just be normal?" And it's like, and then he storms off, right? And that made me, my reaction was like, bro, I'm just stretching. Why would you have something wrong with that? Why would you be bothered by it? But he turned out to be on the same flight. And I was one of the last ones to get on the flight. I was sitting in the back, and he was somewhere in the middle, and he just glared at me. He gave me this death eye as I was walking towards the back of the flight. But here's the deal, and here's why, what he said really bothered me. Maybe I'm too sensitive. But can you just be normal? So I'm not trying to judge, but, I try to stay in pretty decent shape. I take care of my body. I think it's a really important thing to do because that's your home, right? Your body is where you live. You don't need to be a top-level athlete, but I think it's important to put in the effort to take care of yourself. And you should also encourage other people to do the same. You should never discourage this idea of people actually trying to put effort and to put work in on improving themselves. But normal. Why can't I just be normal? I don't want to be normal. I mean, let's be realistic. I don't think at any point in my life I've ever been described as normal. Even before I did kind of what I do now, I've always been a little bit different, and I'm okay with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But I guess it's this idea of what this dude considered normal. And again, I'm not trying to judge. He did not look like he moved well. He didn't look like he took very good care of himself. He was probably, my guess is maybe mid-50s. So quite a bit, maybe early 50s, mid-50s, so quite a bit older than me. But can you just be normal? No, I can't be normal. I don't want to be normal. Is it not normal to want to put effort into taking care of yourself? And I understand it's a public place, so maybe he was worried about propriety and decorum, but there weren't a lot of people around. I was taking up my own space, minding my own business. I wasn't doing anything offensive that should bother anybody. I was just stretching. Let's not normalize that. Let's normalize this idea of moving and trying to take care of yourself because, it's your body. You only have the one. That's your home. Your home isn't your house. It's not where you live. It's your body is your home. So you should work to take care of it, and that should be a normal thing. It should be normal to want to keep yourself in good condition, to want to take care of yourself. So I want to abolish this line of thinking of it's normal to sit in preparation for sitting and to be complacent. And then kind of thinking about this as well, you have kids who are naturally, they compulsively want to move because it's part of who they are. And then what happens? Parents tell them, no, sit still, sit in the chair. And to a certain degree, the kids are being conditioned long term into being this guy when they grow up. So I've been conditioned to sit. I'm not allowed to move. I haven't moved in a long time, so I don't want anybody else to do the same. I want to continue the cycle. I want to condition people in the way that I've been conditioned. And I don't want to go too far with this line of thought because we can go pretty deep with it, but I don't know. Let me know. What are your thoughts? That's my goal, I guess, with all of this and fitness and whatever I'm teaching, is just to make people more aware of their bodies. And it's not about everybody doing a handstand or flips or anything like that. I'm just using that as a tool, as a vehicle. But what I'm trying to get at, kind of an overarching goal, is just increased body awareness, increased sensitivity to what's happening in your home, in this vehicle that you live in. And it's not just about workouts, it's not just about training, it's about including that into your lifestyle. And I think it should be normal to move and stretch before a flight, before a drive. And if you don't think that's normal, then you're part of the problem. So yeah, just a quick story and my thoughts on that. So let me know what you think. What are your thoughts? Should it be normal to try to take care of yourself? I think so.